Jeopardy proved decisive yesterday as our new champion Connor Sears found them both, bet big on them both, and cruised to a runaway win. Today his challengers are Max and Suzanne. Will they be able to capitalize on the daily doubles? Let's start finding out. There's one of them hidden in the Jeopardy round, somewhere in these categories. First up, we have sports trophies, then New York City subway stops, potpourri, then some animal, vegetable, or mineral anagrams, on the scientist's resume, finally, the bottom line. Connor, you begin.
NYC subway stops for 1,000.
I thought you might, Connor from Queens. If you want a day at the museum, take the C train to 81st Street to enjoy this Night at the Museum museum. Connor.
What's the Museum of Natural History?
Right.
Subway 8.
Head downtown on the 1, 2, or 3 train to hit this street, the Ho in Soho, and note its pronunciation. Suzanne.
What is Houston?
Yeah, Houston Street.
Animal, vegetable for 1,000, please.
Mineral, Kerr Mound. Connor.
What is corundum?
Very good, wow.
Subway 6.
Give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to this square named for an old-time newspaper and its stop on the D train. Max.
What is Herald Square?
Yes.
Sports trophies for 1,000, please.
Named for a one-time Brisbane Lions coach, the Lee Matthews Trophy goes to the MVP of the AFL. This. Connor.
What's the Australian Football League?
Good for 1,000.
Subway 4.
Flatbush Avenue, the number 2 train stop for the college named for this borough. Please step away from the closing doors. Max.
What is Queens?
No. Connor.
What's Brooklyn?
There we go, yes. The eternal rivalry.
Subway 2.
The S train has but 2 stops, shuttling across 42nd Street between Times Square and this landmark with much train activity. Connor.
What's Grand Central Station?
Yes.
Anagrams for 8.
Vegetable, taco hiker. That's an artichoke. Connor.
Anagram 6.
Mineral, spy mug. Max.
What is gypsum?
Yes.
Back to sports trophies for 800.
Serena Williams is a 3-time winner of the Coupe Suzanne Lenglen, given to the women's singles champ at this Grand Slam event. Suzanne.
What is the French Open?
Yeah.
Sports 600.
The NHL Selke Trophy goes to the forward who's best not at scoring, but at this. Max.
What are assists?
No. Connor or Suzanne? Forward who's best at defense. Suzanne?
Potpourri 1,000.
Rudyard Kipling described him as a mongoose, rather like a little cat in his fur and his tail. Connor.
Who's Ricky Tikki Tavi?
Yes.
Scientist resume for 1,000.
1916, University of Copenhagen, professor of theoretical physics. 1922, Nobel Prize. Max.
Who is Niels Bohr?
That's right.
Scientist for 800.
1929, bachelor's in bio from Pennsylvania College for Women. 1962, published Silent Spring, first serialized in the New Yorker. Max.
Who's Carson?
Rachel Carson, right.
Sports trophies for 400.
Given out on Memorial Day weekend, the Borg-Warner Trophy goes to the winner of this race. Max.
What is the America's Cup?
No. I think the trophy there might be called the America's Cup. This goes to the winner of the Indianapolis 500. All right, Max, you and Suzanne tied for second. Connor has the lead as we head into our first commercial break. We'll be back after these words. Suzanne Dragon from West Valley, Utah, is a zoo educator at Salt Lake City's Fine Zoo. What kind of animals do you work with, Suzanne?
So I mostly work with small native Utah animals, but sometimes I get a chance to work with some of the cooler stuff. Like one time we had an orangutan who needed to be hand raised, and I got to help do some overnight shifts and bottle feeding and all of that.
Wow, you're a mommy to an orangutan.
My little redheaded stepchild.
Does he or she remember you to this day?
I still see her every day at work, and now she has raised her little brother.
Congratulations. Max Davison from Studio City, California, is a writer, not the first Jeopardy contestant in your family, right?
No, my dad was on, Mike Davison was on in 1997, where he was a one-day champ. And in fact, it was a runaway, and so he was able to write Who is Max as his final Jeopardy answer.
So Max has appeared with a question mark. Today it appears with an exclamation point.
Yeah, a tarot bang next time, maybe.
Who knows what'll happen if you win today? Good luck. Connor Sears from Queens is a copy editor, and you recently developed a COVID-era fascination with barbershop videos, but yours are a little bit different.
Yeah, so during lockdown, it's hard to find people to sing with, and so I decided to try my hand at multi-track, so recording myself 4 times, layering them together, and seeing if the result sounds decent.
And how do you sound as a full barbershop quartet?
Decent.
That's a high bar. That's better than I would be. I just do it for the sleeve garters, honestly. Max, you have control of the board. Go ahead and make a selection for us.
I'll take potpourri for 800, please.
Andrew Garfield played composer Jonathan Larson, running out of time, in this 2021 film. Suzanne.
What is Tick Tick Boom?
Yes.
Potpourri 600.
This social media platform was originally called musical.ly. Connor.
What is TikTok?
Yes.
Potpourri 4.
Toss Across is basically this pencil and paper game, but with beanbags. Connor.
What's tic-tac-toe?
That's correct.
Bottom line for 1,000.
The events of Homer's Iliad conclude with a funeral for this hero, tamer of horses. Max.
Who is Hector?
That's right, yes.
Bottom line for 800.
In Harlem, he asked of a dream deferred, does it explode? Max.
Who is Langston Hughes?
Right.
Bottom line 6.
Sandberg finished a poem titled for this city, Player with Railroads and Freight Handler to the Nation. Max.
What is Chicago?
You got it.
Bottom line 400.
What immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? Ends the poem about this beast. Suzanne.
What's Tiger?
Yes.
Bottom line 200.
He ended a poem, I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Connor.
Who's Frost?
Right.
Resume 6.
Answer there. Is the daily double? You still have the lead, but it's narrower, Connor.
Let's do 2,200.
All right, you'll have an even 8,000 if you're correct. On the scientist's resume, the category, 1927, Italy's first professor of theoretical physics.
Who's Cassini?
No, sorry, Enrico Fermi. So you go down to 3,600, select again.
Resume 4.
1978, TA, science at Stanford. 1979, completed her NASA training. 1983, made history aboard Challenger. Connor.
Who's Sally Ride?
That's right.
Resume 2.
Circa 1491 to 1494, student of astronomy and astrology, University of Krakow. Circa 1515, invited to Fifth Lateran Council to aid calendar reform. Connor.
Who's Copernicus?
Yes.
Anagrams for 4.
Animal. Ball way. Connor.
What's wallaby?
Right.
200 anagram.
Vegetable. Failure cowl. That would be cauliflower. Connor, 2 clues remain.
Potpourri 2.
This brand of little breath mints was launched in 1969. Max.
What are Tic Tacs?
Yes.
And sports trophies for 2, please.
Final clue. Major League Soccer's top scorer gets the golden this piece of footwear. Max.
What is boot?
The golden boot is right. You're just $200 off the lead, Max. Suzanne, you'll select first in Double Jeopardy. We'll be right back. We are set to begin the Double Jeopardy round. We just need to take a look at the categories. Let's show the players what they are. First up, we're going around the globe. Then business partners, lead vocalist of the band. Next up, fourth and goal, the Attorney General. And finally, between 2 C's. Each correct response will begin and end with the letter C. Suzanne, you select.
Between 2 C's for 2,000.
Starting and ending with C, it's the plain yet elegant white fabric worn here. That's called cambric. Suzanne?
Let's try between 2,000 C's for 1,600.
To reduce harmful emissions in auto exhausts, this type of converter removes